Hey guys, Coldhearts here. Welcome to another raid challenge video. This one will be a takeover video. I haven't done one of those in a while. So here we are in the one Azrael's account right now, guys. He's level 69, but he's still having some issues with the dungeons. So we're gonna go over and see where he is in the dungeons right now and see what we can improve. So stuck on 18, well 19, and Spider stuck on 19 again. Okay, Dragon. Okay, Dragon is done. That's usually the easiest one for all accounts to do. And then 18 for Fire Knight. Fire Knight is usually a bit harder, although depending on your setup, Spider is actually usually the one that everybody gets stuck on. So we need to beat the 3 dungeons. Let's go over and see what kind of champions we have to work with. And I'll tell you, just by seeing the champions and what we can do, immediately I see here my little friend Ignatius. That's it for Spider. We don't need anything else, guys. And in terms of all the other dungeons, a combination of champions can take you to do some very quick time. So what I'll think of using first for, let's say Ice Golem, which should be the harder one for the team in terms of surviving and having a good team that will just take those hits, is probably, I mean, Martyr is a good idea there, but I don't want to mess with Martyr. She's probably built for clan boss, so I don't want to mess with her at all. We've got Warlord here. We've got Vizier of Velis, who is great for spreading debuffs, but those, I don't think I'll use him. We've got Bad Alcazar. He should be the key here in actually helping us survive a little bit longer in all dungeons, even Fire Knight. Where Fire Knight, he doesn't really do so much when he reaches the boss. So I think Bad Alcazar will be the key for Spider and Ice Golem. And then for Fire Knight, I think I'm going to use a combination of these Coldhearts. Build them right, build them with a ton of damage so we can take down the big Spider down. So let's go and rebuild the champions slowly here. And we'll see, first of all, the gear of some of them, which I think might need some tuning. Bad Alcazar, unfortunately, he's probably built for clan boss, so I'm not going to touch him again. We even have Fushan here. I love Fushan. Does have this great A1, which does an extra hit for the Fire Knight. Has a big stun there on the A2 4-turn cooldown. Shred here, apply the decreased defense on random, but when this hits the Fire Knight, it's like a 4 hit. Then we also have Sal of the Drake. Sal of the Drake is just an amazing champion. Is she booked? She's booked. There it is. Relentless Head also. Wow. We're ready. We're ready, actually. I just think she needs a little bit better gear, of course. Not being able to beat Spider 20 means your accessories will be lacking. So I'll have a look over on his gear for Sal. And then 2 Coldhearts should be the key in taking down the Spider, honestly. With Bad Alcazar also there. We also probably have, yes we do, we have a Royal Guard. So plenty of stuff to work with, plenty of champions. The thing is, you need to gear them correctly. That's the biggest issue that I see with accounts overall when I do my account takeovers, is either not building the Great Hall to the point that you should. This one is built just fine. I mean, he's just focusing on getting his Great Hall to level 10. That's probably where he's stuck on. So maybe a Void Keep. I'm a little bit behind on here with my free-to-play account. So next up, he's got the Great Hall level 10, and then after that is just a clear way to Arbiter, very close. And I mean, beating the dungeons from now will be what he should do, just so he's ready when the final 5 or 6 missions come. So I'll start regearing everybody, and I'll tell you guys what I've done. Yeah, Miscreant Monster is gonna need, he will need a regearing if I'm gonna use him with Ignatius for an easy Spider. Although, because we also have Bad Alcazar, I think Bad Alcazar is going to be a nice one to use for a fast team for Spider. So I can use a defense down, two Coldhearts, 1 Royal Guard, and 1 defense down, and Bad Alcazar should be enough to take down the Spider without needing to use Ignatius, because Ignatius, the runs will be a little bit longer, although he has an unresistible HP burn. Because you need to wait for the small spider legs to take a turn, the runs might take a little bit longer. But then again, we also have Coldheart. let's start. Let's go. I'll pause this, I'll do the work, and then I'll come back and tell you guys what I've done to each champion to actually beat these dungeons. Okay guys, I'm back now with the takeover. Let's go over first on the gear that I've changed, and I'll explain my thinking process behind well, just getting into an account, seeing the champions, and then thinking, what's the game plan, Cold Brew? What are you gonna change on which champion, and why not this champion? Okay, so you see this account has many champions that are great, amazing champions. Warlord, I wish I had him on my main account. Fushan, I wish I had him on my main account. Martyr, well, I've got better champions now. I've got Valkyrie, but at a time, Martyr was an amazing champion that would be just over the moon if I did get Martyr. But guys, you have to understand, when you're playing raid, it's not about the champion all 100% of the time. If it's content that you need to pass through, there's so many champions in the game. There's like 600 now. You can pass, I mean, at least 90% of the content with basic champions. It's all about the gear. Okay, it's all about the gear, how you gear your champions, and your mindset behind gearing those champions. I'll explain that right now. So Warlord, didn't touch Warlord, didn't use Warlord in a single team. Warlord is an amazing champion. Personally, I think he can fit in any team, in any dungeon, just because he has such a diverse kit and can provide a ton of support to the whole team. I just didn't use him. Mostly, I would like to say that I don't have so much experience with him, so as to just, I mean, I know what he does, but then I know that I can do the content with other champions that are going to be useful everywhere. So I saw the Coldhearts, went straight for the Coldhearts. I said, okay, just built out the Coldhearts first. What I did is, as you can see in the bottom right here, the stats for the Coldhearts: 70% crit. Look at that, 240% critical damage with 263 accuracy. Just fantastic, right? Fantastic stats. That's what you need on a Coldheart. Ideally, my accuracy would be a little lower, and my health points would be a little bit higher. That's because of the chestplate that I do have. It's an accuracy chestplate. Ideally, you want to have an HP percent one on a Coldheart, just so you have her a little bit more tanky. So when this account actually picks up a 6-star banner with accuracy, then possibly this chestplate can be replaced with an HP percent one. Well, I understand that the 70% on the chestplate is not easy to find, but I'm just saying the next big upgrade on this Coldheart, this specific one, would be replacing a chestplate. The same thing with the other Coldheart. Both are the same way built. This one does have an accuracy chestplate as well, but and a critical rate set, and then also a HP flat banner, not an accuracy banner. So instead, if we get an accuracy banner, we can finally replace the accuracy chest. But of course, you need to be mindful of the substats gaining that 70% critical rate and as much critical damage as possible, and that's how you build a Coldheart. Ideally, your speeds will need to be over 190. That's how I've built her, and that's how I believe it works best for the spider, being that the spider that you need to have at least over 190 to take 2 turns before the big spider does take a turn. You can have that on one of the Coldhearts, and if you're using the second one as well, that one can be a little bit slower, just because the first one, which is faster, will take down the Terminator, and then the next one will have time to react to that. So this is how I've built the 2 Coldhearts. Next up, the one that I've changed was Royal Guard. Again, a big damage dealer. What I did was get his damage as high as possible. And now that I say this, I actually did not, wow, I did not level this up. I did just realize this. So let me quickly update this while I talk about this. So this Royal Guard did not have, a big critical damage number on his stats. Switched around all his gear, checked on his masteries. The masteries were overall just fine. Each champion had flawless execution, which gives you an additional 20% critical damage. It's good. Sometimes personally I prefer Helm Smasher, but if you don't have already high critical damage numbers, then flawless execution definitely works. So I did not bother using the gems to change it. I didn't see a big difference. So now we go to 231 critical damage. Not 100% crit rate, but if I did use him in Spider, for example, he will be strong affinity, so he would be with enough critical rate to do this. And also for example, Ice Golem, that's where I use Royal Guard. He does have the support of Battle Khazar in there. Battle Khazar's lead gives 25% crit rate plus the strong affinity. Royal Guard is fine in critical rate. It's just he's just fine with what he has. I could have done him with much lower than that, but then I wouldn't be able to use him in areas such as the dragon, although I didn't touch him for the dragon. Didn't even check out on the dragon. So this is how you build a Royal Guard. Ideally, again, HP percent or defense percent. I prefer HP percent, but I did find a critical damage set that was good enough to put on, so I put this one on him. Overall, the stats on getting a Royal Guard built up are a little bit harder than a Coldheart just because of that critical rate that you need to get. These are the masteries, if anybody was wondering, for Royal Guard, but all the others do have Flawless Execution. So Royal Guard does have Helm Smasher. Just realized, I thought he had Flawless Execution. It's fine. That's why I use him for Ice Golem. So next up was Stagnant. You need that defense down, attack down. Just a big carry. A fantastic champion. Used him in all 3 dungeons that I did the takeover for, both Spider, Ice Golem, and Fire Knight. And well, this way that he's built is just an amazing way to build him. Lots of speed, lots of accuracy. You can get some critical rate, some critical damage. Not really important. I would prefer if I had more health than anything else, just because I don't want him to die at any point throughout the fight. So now that I see his ring there, I'll try and see if we get an HP ring with an HP substat. Ideally, roll this one just so he survives in case something happens in Ice Golem 20. That's when the real issue pops up. In Ice Golem 20, when you do get those random bursts of damage from your own team, that's when you need to be surviving the hits. And as long as you got some supporting champions in there, you'll be able to recover and take down the boss. But honestly, Ice Golem 20 is the most challenging in terms of survivability. The other 2 dungeons are more challenging in terms of the tactic you're gonna use to just take them down. If you do have the survivability in Ice Golem 20, you're gonna take down the boss eventually. Even with a poisoner, it just works. So here I replace this ring, give him another 4,000 health instead of getting attack. There's no reason to give him attack, so he's fine with this build. HP, amulet, and then I think it's an accuracy banner, so nice amount of speed. So who else did I change? I did change Seer as well. Built up a Seer that does damage, 100% crit. You need it. You need it. Although she does apply a critical rate up buff to the team, this does not apply for her damage, because Seer's damage, if you guys did not know, actually removes the buffs first and then does the damage. So if you were counting on that 70% chance, then you would not be able to crit. Of course, I'm still running her with Battle Khazar, so for that specific dungeon, she is over the amount of critical rate needed, but because I use her in one more dungeon, I need the 100%. So that's why we are 228 critical damage with Flawless Execution. So that's why we get over there. And then getting HP percent on the chest plate is very important on her. Having her a little bit tanky goes a long way. I would rather get this to 16, just have her, you know, survive a few hits more, and she's gonna definitely be a big carry for Doom Tower on this account. And then finally, the one that did the carry here, I think the most, is a champion that everybody has access to on day 180. Sal of the Drakes, of course. She was already on a Relentless set, but I did change the whole thing from the start. Removed every single piece, gave her as much speed as possible, 209 speed. Ideally, I would give her some more defensive stats here on the gloves, but I just didn't have them on this account. The perception set, so I could have gone accuracy set instead, maybe if I could find the defense. But critical rate is nice also on her. It's not that bad, and it did work in all dungeons that I did use her. So these were the changes that I did to the account. I did barely 1 or 2 changes to Ignatius, nothing too much on him, because Ignatius does have that ability to apply the HP burn without any gear. You don't need accuracy on him, but you do need it for his provoke. So these were the changes to the account. Nothing too much, as you can see. That's why the account takeover took a little bit less than an hour and a half for me. I've done so many so far that I know immediately when I log on to an account, okay, I need to change this and this, and it's gonna be done. So let's go and check out stage 20 of the spider. You guys see Paragon there in the lead. That's how he works, 151 speed. I've done 50 videos on Paragon. Check those out if you're still wondering on how he works, the mysterious ways of Paragon. So check those videos out. So see that HP burn guaranteed almost to hit if you have him booked. No, I think it's guaranteed if you have him booked. Now the Coldhearts will go take down the Terminator to 0. Look at that. There's the next Coldheart, and now the HP burns will slowly take down the spider. This is how it is, and it's just an easy run. I don't think we're gonna have any fails here unless we get maybe a defense down resist from the big spider. So it's like a 2 or 3% chance to happen. If it happens, maybe we can still take down the spider just because of the HP burns, but it's a team, it works, and I'm happy about it. 44 seconds, move on to the next dungeon. Let's go over to Fire Knight, which is a difficult dungeon, I would like to say, but nevertheless, look at this team here. Seer actually in the lead just because we don't have any other leader slot. 2 Coldhearts, the ones that I've built for Spider. Stagnite, defense down, attack down, so helps us survive a little bit longer. And then Salve the Drakes has a revive, has stun at an increased chance, is weak affinity, so she does take a little bit of the aggro away from all the other champions just because of that weak affinity status. And you see here, we're getting attacked. I love that. I love that we're getting attacked here, not getting attacked all the time. But look at this, 19 seconds, moving on to round 2. So happy about it. I think this team wouldn't have worked on the previous patches when Coldhearts didn't work this way on Fire Knight. So with the recent patch, Coldhearts actually do not use their Heartseeker ability, their A3, their Terminator reduction ability. They don't use it on the boss. They wait for the boss's shield to be down, and that's when they go for it. So here we see that the revive doing some work. That's why you need Salve the Drakes. That's why I put in Salve the Drakes in this team. Look at all those stuns there. Those books were definitely worth it. Booking Salve the Drakes is a must. I would say not only for dungeons, you can beat the dungeons without booking her. But once you start going into Doom Tower hard mode, you're gonna see the real worthiness of Salve the Drakes for the control that you can provide, as long as you're a free to play or a mid spender, so that you can understand on the big difference that Salve brings. Look at that, speed down, decreasing Terminator on the A1, speed up to the team, revive, ally protection, healing whenever she does take a turn. She is the MVP for free to play players and low spenders, I would say. So here you see we're gaining control. We've got multiple ways to control the Terminator, 3 champions. We even have the speed down, defense down, attack down. If the boss takes a turn, a heal reduction over time. If the boss even takes a turn and tries to heal back up, he won't. It's just the thing that if the boss does take a turn and he doesn't have the attack down, he probably kills 1 or 2 of the Coldhearts, but they slowly recover just because of Salve the Drakes reviving. So here, there's the 1 Heartseeker. The second one should follow right about now. And nope, maybe we get Seer. So this run went a little bit longer than I would have loved. I think the best time I did was 2 minutes 8 seconds. Fantastic time for the gear that we have. You can actually push it a little bit more if you want to, maybe with the defense down, weaken champion, and maybe some more damage onto Seer, maybe a Savage set. So this is the Fire Knight team. And then finally, let's go over to the Ice Golem just to finish this off. So this is the team battle. Khazar there in the lead, gives us those much needed buffs to the whole team for that Seer to do the big burst. Let's go in and I'll explain on what happens. So there's the stun from Sal, not really needed. Defense down, there it is. There's the poisons, boom, from Royal Guard, and then Seer will go and take it next turn. So ideally, maybe I should have had, I don't know, Stagnite with a shield set. Now that I think of it, maybe Stagnite on a shield set would have been way better. But then again, it works. So Stagnite with the shield set so that Seer can benefit from that, gain those extra buffs, and actually nuke down the waves. So here the weak affinity is only Bad Alcazar, and Bad Alcazar will be revived by Sal in the case that he dies. So there it is. The second wave just died. There's our Royal Guard back up on 50 seconds once we reach the boss, and we'll actually take down the boss right now. So as you can see, this will take a little bit longer. This will take about a minute and a half. The reason is on how this works. We don't have a block revive on the 2 adds. We do have a defense down, attack down on all of them. So the big hits from the boss will not hurt that much. And you guys know how hard this boss can hit. Look at that. When the 2 adds are up, he does 100% defense ignore, and it's just brutal on everybody. The good thing about poisons is that they do not proc his passive, so the poisons will actually take his health down slowly but surely until Sal of the Drakes gets those turns, starts reviving people up, and actually start doing some work. So here just waiting for everybody to be back up. We don't really need everybody, but it just makes the run a little bit faster. So 2.5 minutes should be the time to take it down. So here, if I didn't want to use Seer and wanted to stay with Royal Guard, maybe I would use something else to provide some more cleansing or some more healing. So here I'm just waiting for the damage bursts to come. We're just fine here with the damage that we've done. Look at that, Karma Burn, finally she's down. And then Royal Guard to clear it off, 2 minutes and 30. Actually my fastest time was 2 minutes 5. Just great time overall in all dungeons, compared to, you know, not being able to go through them. Definitely Arbiter will be acquired once you start going through all these missions. So on Sunday, Void, and then slowly doing all these, getting that Great Hole to level 10. So guys, if you did like this video and would be interested in Takeover, be sure to send me a message over on Discord. Now with BlueStacks not being able to sponsor us, the raid YouTubers, anything that comes out of, you know, these takeovers, which are charged services, is it helps us support the channel and move on, you know, hopefully for myself at least, doing this full time. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, guys. Leave a like down below, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.